Every great legend begins not with power, but with a quiet choice. Tonight, we walk a road few remember to discover who Gandalf was before the world learned his name. Welcome to a new tale of Middle-earth.
Long before Gandalf became a legend, before wars were fought and songs were written, he arrived in Middle-earth quietly. No thunder, no prophecy, no great display of power. He came as an old man, leaning on a staff, cloaked in grey. And that was no accident. When Gandalf first appears in Tolkien's world, he is deliberately unremarkable. People do not bow to him. They do not fear him. Many do not even trust him. This is important, because Gandalf was never meant to announce himself. He was meant to be overlooked. Gandalf did not come to Middle-earth to rule, to conquer, or to be worshipped. He came as one of the Istari, sent by higher powers with a very specific purpose, not to defeat evil directly, but to awaken resistance in others. This is why his early actions seem small. He listens more than he speaks. He travels constantly. He watches. For long stretches of time, Gandalf does nothing that looks heroic. But Tolkien is planting something deeper. One of Gandalf's earliest and most important choices is where he chooses to spend his time. Not in great cities, not on thrones, but among the small and overlooked, hobbits. When Gandalf first becomes involved with the Shire, he is not interested in politics or power. He is interested in character. He observes how hobbits live, how they treat one another, how they value peace, food, laughter, and home. To most of Middle-earth, hobbits are irrelevant. To Gandalf, they are quietly extraordinary. This is one of his defining traits from the very beginning. He looks for strength where others see weakness. In his earliest appearances, Gandalf is also deeply mistrusted. Kings tolerate him, rulers question him, Saruman dismisses him. Even those who respect him do not fully understand him. And Gandalf is comfortable with that. He does not correct them. He does not demand recognition, because influence, in his view, is more powerful when it is invisible. This is why Gandalf often appears to arrive late, why he disappears without explanation, why he refuses to give clear answers. It is not carelessness. It is patience. Tolkien presents Gandalf early on as someone who knows far more than he says, but he never uses that knowledge to dominate a conversation. Instead, he asks questions, he nudges, he suggests, he allows others to believe that their choices are their own. And in a very real sense, they are. This is Gandalf's philosophy long before the central conflict begins. People must choose freely, even if they choose poorly. One of the most revealing aspects of Gandalf's early life is how rarely he uses direct power. When danger arises, he prefers warning to force. When conflict grows, he prefers preparation to violence. When mistakes are made, He prefers mercy to punishment. These are not weaknesses, they are principles, and Tolkien establishes them early so that when Gandalf later faces greater trials, his choices feel inevitable. By the time Gandalf truly enters the main story, he has already spent centuries learning one thing: that the fate of Middle-earth will not be decided by strength alone. It will be decided by courage, pity, and the willingness of ordinary people to act when it matters. This is why Gandalf never tries to be the hero. He does not seek the center of the stage. He moves through the world setting pieces in motion, then stepping aside. Before Gandalf is a warrior, he is a watcher. Before he is a guide, he is a student of people. Before he becomes a symbol, he is simply an old man in gray, walking long roads, listening carefully. And that quiet beginning is the foundation for everything that follows.
Most people believe that Gandalf feared the One Ring because it was powerful. Others think he feared it because it could corrupt him. But neither of these ideas is truly correct. Gandalf was not afraid of losing a battle, and he was not afraid of temptation in the way most beings are. His fear was far more unsettling. Gandalf was afraid because he understood the ring better than almost anyone else alive, and more importantly, he understood himself. In this video, we are not asking what the ring could do to Gandalf. We are asking something far more dangerous. What would Gandalf have become if he had taken it? One of the greatest misunderstandings about the One Ring is the idea that it simply turns good people evil. That is not how the ring works. The ring does not overwrite your will. It does not erase who you are. Instead, it amplifies you. It takes your strongest traits, your deepest desires, your most sincere beliefs, and gives them power. This is why the ring affects each bearer differently. To Boromir, it promises victory. To Gollum, survival. To Frodo, endurance. The ring does not lie outright. It offers a version of your best intentions without restraint. And that is precisely why Gandalf refuses it. Because Gandalf's intentions are already immense. In the books, Gandalf does not say, "I would fall to evil." What he says is far more revealing. He tells Frodo that if he took the ring, he would use it to do good. But through him, the ring would wield a power too great and terrible to imagine. That sentence is the key to understanding everything. Gandalf knows he would not become a Dark Lord overnight. He would become something far worse. A ruler who believes with absolute certainty that he is right. A Dark Lord rules through fear. People resist him because his cruelty is obvious. But a just tyrant is almost impossible to oppose, because he does not promise suffering. He promises safety, order, peace. Gandalf is compassionate, wise, patient. If he held the ring, his rule would feel merciful, and because it feels merciful, no one would question it. This is why Gandalf is more dangerous than Sauron could ever be, not because he is stronger, but because people would follow him willingly. Gandalf is not ignorant of power. He is not young. He is not untested.
He has seen the rise and fall of beings far greater than kings. He has witnessed how good intentions curdle into domination, and unlike most creatures in Middle-earth, he remembers. His mission is not to rule, it is to guide, not to command, but to inspire. The ring would twist that mission, not violently, subtly. It would convince him that guidance is not enough, that choice must be removed for the greater good. When Gandalf refuses the ring, it is not hesitation, it is mastery. Anyone can seize power. Very few can reject it when they know they would use it well. This is the quiet genius of Tolkien's writing. The strongest character in the story wins not by taking control, but by stepping away from it. Gandalf understands something many rulers never do, that power used for good is still power, and power always demands more. If Gandalf had taken the ring, Sauron would have fallen, the wars would have ended, Middle-earth would have been saved, and slowly freedom would have disappeared. Not in chains, but in gratitude. The world would be orderly, safe, silent, and unrecognizable. Middle-earth would survive, but it would no longer be itself. Gandalf did not fear the ring because it was evil. He feared it because it would have made him right, and certainty is the most dangerous form of power. This is why he refuses. This is why he endures. This is why Middle-earth is saved, not by strength, not by domination, but by restraint. There are many truths the movies never told. This was one of them, and the next truth is even stranger, because there exists one being the ring could not influence at all.